This is the Mr. Mike Agostinho, and you're listening to the Mr. Benfica podcast channel. All right, everybody, welcome. We are live. It's a Wednesday night again this week, and Tuesday, Wednesday, we just show up when we can be here, and we don't have to be pigeonholed into Tuesdays. Sometimes things happen on Tuesday, and it's fun to talk about on Wednesday. So, thank you everyone for joining us. Mauricio's here, Derek is here. I'm Mike, and we're going to talk about round 21, Liga Portugal. Obviously, one game has the attention, and I'm assuming most people that are tuning in to hear these guys talk about this game. So, Derek, you want to go first or second this week?
Yeah, sure. I'll lead off. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, let's get Derek the floor.
Yeah, I'll lead off.
All right, Derek.
I think that I think it was a just result.
Mm-hmm.
I think the game needed to be tied. It was a tied game. I think these were two teams who were really locked in to the tactical side of this game, locked into their defensive assignments. Teams that really weren't very adventurous, really didn't take many risks. So I was surprised by both postures. I did think that after losing to Casa P, I thought Porto was going to want to make a statement at home. But I felt they were very tentative. And then Sporting too, knowing that they could cut this to 1 point, I also felt that they were going to be more ambitious, but simply they weren't. I think that the defenses were locked down. It was probably one of Sporting's best defensive performances. I thought Gonçalo Inácio was fantastic. I thought Diamand was fantastic. I think that we had a plan to shut down their flanks, and we achieved that. I thought Maxi won the battle against Pepe. I thought we neutralized Pepe. Borja Sainz, did you hear his name in the game? I mean, he's a ghost. I think we totally neutralized him. That being said, I thought Porto had a great game plan for us. They defended strong up the middle. Bednarik is just he's a beast, really. I think he's a leader. Mm-hmm. He's almost unbeatable in the aerial duels. I thought he was impeccable. I really haven't got a good look at this guy, but I think he's a great player. I guess they're going to be missing for a few weeks now. Kiwior, I was really impressed with Kiwior in this game. Mm-hmm. So I think they did a great job of shutting down Port. Port couldn't get anything going in the middle. Trincão only started to show up when he was moved to the middle after Port came out. So those guys were, pretty well neutralized. I thought Jenny had some good moves against Martin Fernandes. So I thought we were in that battle. But overall, I just feel that, when we won the ball, I thought we were very, just very slow in transition. I don't think we were committing men. Once we won the ball and we had a chance to, go in and transition attack, I thought we stopped it. I don't think we committed many men forward. So that's why there was, such a lack of opportunities. Porto, on the flip side, really only had one real chance and they scored. I know in that sequence they took like 4 shots. Mm-hmm. I think they had 6 shots. I think they had 6 shots in 90 minutes. 4 of them were there in that one play. That was it. So if they walked out of here with the 3 points, it would have been, again, an undeserved victory, which I think they've had a few this year. So I'm happy that Sporting were able to get that tie at the end. They did show that once they were down and they committed men forward, that they were actually dangerous. They were getting into the final third. They were creating chances. Trincão had a chance. Yeoman had a chance. And I'm just happy that the penalty was indisputable. Godin called it on the spot, and then when you saw it in replay, it was obvious that it was a penalty. Mm-hmm. No one really argued it. So I think that that was maybe the soccer gods talking. Porto did not deserve to get 3 points in that game. So I was happy that we were able to take a point, and I really do feel that this league, this title is up for grabs.
Yeah.
I really do feel that way. I don't think Porto is done losing points. They lost 5 points in the last 2 rounds, more than they lost in the previous 18. they still have tough road games. They still got to go to Stade Luge. They still got to go to Braga. They're still involved in Europe. This is they got a really tough game coming up. They got to go to Nacional, and Nacional has played every big team tough. Yeah. So I mean, again, I would have liked Sporting to be more ambitious in this game. I don't think they were. But again, at the end of the day, it's a tie away, and we've kept this whole thing alive. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Overall, we'll take the point. But to be perfectly honest, I was disappointed with how Sporting approached the game. I wish that they had I wish they'd been a little bit more brave. And like I said, it's a point. We're still just 4 points back. So yeah, I mean, in my opinion, game on, man. Game on. This season's still open. It's still up for grabs. What do you think, Mauricio?
Yeah, Mauricio, you're up.
Yeah, I agree with Derek. It was pretty much, a defensive battle back and forth. Froholt was nowhere to be seen. He's usually a guy with energy for Porto in the midfield, winning those balls and everything. I really barely saw him throughout the game. And like you said, Bednarik, I think, was probably Porto's best player in the game. That guy is probably the defensive player of the year in the league. He's just a rock back there. Yeah, he's just someone on defensive headers, offensive headers, winning the ball. He's just everywhere for them. Samu got a big injury in this game. We'll see how that plays out for them in the future. It looks like his season is done.
No, I've heard his World Cup is out of the question.
And his World Cup are out. His season is done. And you notice something was bad. Once you get one of those non-contact injuries and you go down right away, you knew it wasn't great. But I thought Sporting, what Derek said, I thought they would be more aggressive. They were trying to almost play possession with Porto, trying to set up an attack instead of using Jenny speed, counterattack those wings when they're up too high or something like that. Like Braga did.
Yeah, I don't think they got vertical.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Try to get them when they committed too much. And they really didn't do that. I thought Morita, who I thought was a surprise starter, he played a really good game with Human. I thought Morita was really good this game.
Yeah. I think Human was great too.
Yeah, I thought they were both really good. They complemented each other very well like they did in the past. I thought they were very well in the midfield too. Porto's midfield was usually their strong point to them back and forth. Like Derek said, I think I only saw another chance besides that goal they had, just those two chances. And like Derek said also, they got all those shots right there in that chance. And they didn't really create a lot or anything. No. Even when Dennis Gould came in for Samu, he really didn't do anything when he came in. And Sporting did get more aggressive in the second half when they went down. The only thing I have against Sporting and Rui Bart is I feel like he's subbed too late. You're coming off the game on Thursday, and I feel like their legs were catching up to them. And you can't let Porto sub before you. They had a week off, and you still waited until like the 70th,
75th minute. It was insane.
Yeah, and I didn't get that. Like you saw that that Bot wasn't having the game that he was. Trincão wasn't having the game that he was having. I thought, let's freshen this up. Bring in Bragança. Bring in the winger. Bring in Guilherme. Freshen this up.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I thought even like if you wanted to bring in Mangas and move Maxi up top, that's fine. Do something. But he waited too long. I think that's the only thing I have against Borges this game is you waited too long. Because once you did do this,
it's the 80th minute actually.
He was. I just think they were so laser focused on the tactical part of this game.
And like Derek said, this game is there to be had. Like no one was really taking over the game.
Yeah.
And I thought that's the only thing I have against them. And with Porto, I really don't have anything. I just thought that coming off them being that loss and Gazipi and playing at home, you want to get this result because if you get this result,
you expect a response. Yeah,
that's what I expected, man. Yeah.
Because not only do you knock Sporting, you knock Sporting and Benfica totally out of the league. It's done. You flip the league with this.
It's seconds away from being basically over.
I mean, exactly. And like Derek said, and I agree with him, and I think everybody else feels that penalty is non-disputable. It is what it is. As soon as you see that hand stick out like a wing, like a chicken, dude, your hand can't be like that.
That's consistently called.
It's consistently called. Yeah. There's even worse ones like that are called.
Yeah,
so, like,
exactly.
Fadioli acknowledged it too. It wasn't.
Oh yeah.
There was no debate about the penalty. That was a penalty.
So this game was pretty much tack for tack even. Defensively, I thought both teams were strong. That keyword, their injuries. It will be interesting to see how Porto go because they haven't had injuries.
They haven't,
and they haven't had anything. Now they're missing keyword, who's going to be out a few games. You're going to miss Samu. We'll see what else happens with these guys. I know Sporting's going to lose Jenny for a couple of weeks after this game, which is a huge blow. Yeah. But we'll see. They're not used to any of this pressure now. They're starting to feel it because
this is new.
Now Benfica's even saying, Mourinho, the league's open again. The tie opens up doors for everybody.
And he's right, yeah.
Yeah, and he is right. So we'll see what happens. But it was interesting. But what's your point of view, Mike, from the outside, not with the other two teams?
Oh, well, it's the perfect result for the team and to being in third and trying to catch up because, like I said, Porto was seconds away from taking a huge lead. And had they not lost, imagine for a second Porto gets 6 points in these two matches. I think we're closing up shop at this point. If that,
yeah.
And we've been very kind to Porto all season here, but
I think we have been. You're right.
I think so, and they're starting to crack a little bit, starting to show a little bit of vulnerability here, and now they have an issue to resolve here as to the striker position and the goals that they rely on from Samu. Yeah, they can put another guy in. Maybe he'll score. Maybe he won't. This is going to be something. This is going to be a lot of pressure here, especially in I think this next game now away to Nacional. It's a tough one, and a response is needed because if it doesn't arrive in this round, that fan base is going to completely turn on this team. I think if they don't get 3 points,
absolutely,
they're going to feel the pressure like they have not felt before.
Yeah.
I expected more from Porto, like we started to say, especially coming off a loss. Good teams lose here and there, and then they respond in the next game, and they don't let it become a habit. They don't let it become a trend. Yeah. And Porto sat too happy with 1-0. I think they didn't really look to go after the goal to kill the game. And normally Porto has that killer instinct, and they are clinical and deadly in front of goal. And they seem content to just be at 1-0, playing at home. And like Mauricio said, the fans were celebrating already. It was they thought they had this thing in the bag already. And like you guys said, clear cut penalty, and then Luis Suarez, who's been just ice cold when the pressure's on, and I mean that in a good way. I mean, cool, collected, cold as ice from the penalty spot, And listen, we got a league, we got a race now, and I didn't expect this, to be honest with you. 2 weeks ago, I did not expect this. Even from a Benfica standpoint, having dropped 2 points at Tondela, that's not even in the conversation right now. Like this thing is open, and there's a lot of games left to play. Like we said, Porto have got to go to the Luge. They've got to go to Braga. They're going to Nacional. I believe they still go to Estoril as well. Yes. They have tough matches still coming. Yeah. And this thing, who knows? Now we can talk about it because Farioli's been here before.
And he's
much
failed.
further in the season.
And he's failed.
With a bigger lead.
Yeah.
Is that in his mind and in his staff's mind? Now we can ask that question.
It's got to be.
It's got to be because it's got to feel like it's happening again. I mean, in the back of I don't doubt the professionalism and that they're going to work and that they're going to try to resolve their problem, but there's no way it's not in the back of their heads at this point that, are we doing this again? Is this, a repeat of Ajax a year ago? Be interesting to see if that pressure really, increases how they handle it, and see how the press handles it too for them, Ujogu especially. And will they get critical or will they find an excuse and cling to it? Do you guys want to talk about the off color, off the pitch shenanigans?
No,
we want to do it now.
I think we need
to. All right.
Yeah.
So
I think we need to. I mean, this team has a reputation
And we thought they were passing.
And we're hoping that with the new president it would be different. This team has a reputation, and in this game they lived up to their reputation.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Right. So there were several things that they did. I know that there's some conspiracy theories out there that they may have been behind the whole Morton Ullman transfer thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I believe that.
I wouldn't put it past them.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past them either.
This is they're still up to their old gags. I mean,
this is the negative side. Yeah, this is the negative side of that win at all costs.
Yeah,
DNA that they have. This is the other side. It's good until it crosses the line.
And this crossed the line.
Crossed the line. What was the temperature set in the locker room?
Oh, I don't even know, but I know it was cold in there.
It was cold.
So it was cold, even though it was cold outside. It was cold.
Yes. And it's one of those thermostats.
Yeah, and you couldn't
they couldn't reset it, right?
Yeah.
You couldn't reset it. They had to. They somehow rerouted how they got into the locker room, so the players had to go by hostile fans. What kind of these? They pulled out every trick. I mean, it was
the attention to detail in the
And then the
ball boys, as I call it,
the ball boys were drawing the balls.
Yeah,
I love
that's against league
rules. I love that the TV picked up.
And the TV caught it. And they caught him red-handed.
And I'm glad that they caught it because they would have said, "Oh, Sporting again is just making things up." I'm glad they caught it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just again. This is the team that's always had questionable integrity.
Yes.
And new president, but it's the same story.
And then what? They stole the towel off Ruiz 3 times, not just one time. They took
stole
his
the
towel 3 times. They must have been calling Morocco, asking them how do you steal towels from goalies, because that's the last time I saw this happen. So I don't know.
It's just. I mean, they really did pull out every little trick they could.
I thought all of this died with the old president, but I guess
that's
this guy's
I guess he
bringing it
hasn't.
back.
Just try to win this title on the pitch.
Yeah.
Exactly.
For crying out loud, try to win this title on the pitch.
But you're going to hide the balls in injury time? Are you that concerned during injury time? You're going to start hiding them at that time? That's when you're going to do it? You're that concerned?
Amazing. Yeah. And we got to go up there again.
Yeah.
Yes. Got to play the second leg. And I'm obviously I'm dreading that.
You get the first one at home to hopefully build a cushion, but
those are going to be 2 tight matches.
I would be interested. I'd be interested to hear their side of it. I'd be one of their fans. I wish Rui were here. So maybe defend this. I don't know, to explain what do they actually think when they see this? Is what I want to know.
They're going to say it's a rivalry. What do you expect? That's what they're going to say.
How do you rationalize it?
Their rational is it's a rivalry. What do you expect? We expect a little bit more respect between Sporting Benfica. We don't do any of that.
No, we play the game
on the pitch. You play the game. I mean, now they I guess they filed a complaint about Ullman.
I
just saw that before we went live. I just saw
this
something
really is
about
absurd about Ullman. I guess being aggressive with one of the AVS players.
Yes.
So why is Porto filing the complaint? They weren't involved in the game. I mean, this is just like immaturity almost too.
They behave like politicians. Like they try to create distractions to change the talking point away from what's putting attention on negative things about them.
And to be honest with you, on the Porto side, it's kind of a shame because no offense, you've actually been the better team this year.
Absolutely.
You've been a huge surprise. The coaches, you have a good young squad with some veterans mixed in everything. And the last thing you want to take away from the game is this. But unfortunately, it's because you brought it into light.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shenanigans. That's what it was. Yeah.
It's like a couple years of not winning, and all of a sudden, all of that vitriol is back, and it's win at all costs. And it's as if Sergio is still there almost. these are like his tactics, his games, and it's still being done. I can't believe that there were. I mean, this was on TV for the whole world to see. Anybody who watched, there was no. This wasn't done behind.
I think there's an inquiry by UEFA. From one source that I read. I mean, this needs to be looked at. I mean,
like you're literally even taking the cones and hiding them, the ones that hold up the balls. Like
it was amazing.
The best is this getting the ball boy, and he has 3 soccer balls hidden behind the board by his legs. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, it's complete. Complete lack of integrity.
And I know Mauricio and I were talking during the match. And he was talking about the flares and the delays that was. Yeah. And this is the problem with all of the fans in Portugal. This is
all of them.
There's this thing about disturbing the match and stopping it and throwing flares on the pitch. And I assume there's an underlying message that never gets communicated. Whatever it is they're trying to say doesn't come across. All we get is people throwing flares on a pitch and delaying the match, or leaving the flares in the stand but smoking out the stadium, and we have to wait for the smoke to clear.
It's crazy.
And it's,
dude, it looked like a Nacional game. I told you guys.
The fog.
No. It was bad.
What's going on here?
Yeah.
I mean, you watch these games in South America, right? And they do the Ring of Fire in Argentina, but then the smoke clears and they play the match.
Yeah.
Like they do it in the walkout, the smoke clears, they play the match. These things happen. It's seemingly in the match all the time at a certain minute. It's like predetermined, pre-orchestrated. A certain minute comes up on the clock and suddenly flares go up and the referee's blowing a whistle to halt play. Yeah. And these fan groups and Benfica fans are just as guilty of this. So for anyone who thinks they're just as guilty of this. We've seen times where they actually kill the momentum of their own team with this.
Yeah,
their own team is playing well in the match.
They want to make their own statement.
They want to make their own statement, a statement that none of us will ever understand because that's not how you communicate a statement.
Yeah. And our president is getting flack for going against them for doing all that. And our president's the one actually standing up like, yo, this is not what we represent. And he's like, I'm tired of paying your fines, to be honest with you.
Right.
And he's actually standing up and he's getting crap on for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was listening to some Portuguese guys. It's called the Mata Mata podcast in Portugal, and they were talking. You watch the Premier League, okay? I know they have all the money and they got all the big stars, but the thought of these shenanigans don't even cross the minds of the people in that league, or of the fans, or of any of the administrators. None of this crosses their minds. They go to the stadium to play the match and may the best team win.
No, it really is. It's the Premier League,
and that's why, it's
in more than one way.
They've earned that name over the last 30 years.
They earned it. I mean, the integrity is beyond reproach. You don't get these referee scandals.
No, you don't get scandals.
In Portugal, there's always a scandal.
Yeah, you don't have pundits spending 3 hours arguing referees. The only thing Portuguese people want to watch is the bickering about referees. So I see CMTV. CMTV does huge numbers because they don't say anything of substance and they yell at each other. And they just point to the referee and they make him the scapegoat. And we know the level of our referees in Portugal. It is what it is.
Right.
But it doesn't help the situation to just, make it so that nobody wants to be a referee either.
Get it. Yeah. I mean, I was pleasantly surprised by Agostinho.
He was good.
I thought he called the game. I don't really say that about it. I mean, he's had some disasters in the past.
Right.
Yeah.
He's lost complete control of the game.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I thought he maintained pretty good command. And he was right on the big plays. So
and that's that's what you hope for, is that the referee at the end of the day doesn't make the difference.
Yeah, you hope that you don't have to talk about the referee after the game.
Right.
So, it should be.
But if you're in the Portuguese press, you hope that you do talk about the referee because that's what brings the ratings and the viewers.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. It's something that I'm growing tired of, and
right.
You just want to watch them play, and you want to hear pundits who know the game talk about the game, not talk about all of the off the field stuff. So, where does Porto go from here? There's no one here to represent them, guys. But
I think it's a win. They have to win this weekend.
Yeah.
How important is having Thiago Silva in that locker room right now?
Yeah, no, I heard that he was the one that was charged with giving the pregame speech, and like everybody was really moved by it. He's been there, he's seen it all.
That's
and now it's going to be more than just a locker room guy. He's going to have to step on the pitch now and play a big role with Kiwior out.
With him out, that's what they brought him in for. So
this is but it ended up being a great pickup. I think he helps in more than one way. I mean, he's going to be important, especially in the next few weeks. I really do think.
Yeah, we did hit that.
I think Sunday is such a must-win for them. If they don't win on Sunday, then it's really going to hit the fan.
Yeah,
really.
They may even have to.
And it's an early game too. It's an early game.
It's an early
game. Yeah, Sporting plays after they do.
Yeah.
So I will definitely be watching that match. I'm very interested in what's going on right now.
Yeah, but like Derek said, he's right. Like Thiago Silva after the game was like, guys, we didn't lose this game. So he was already trying to build them up, the morale and everything. Like, nothing's changed. We're still in the lead. We didn't lose this game. We're on to the next game. I think he was more just trying to like, don't be down. Like as if like we lost this game. We can rebound. I know we just had just 2 results that we didn't want back to back. So I think him and Bednarik, the veterans, because Bednarik's been through wars with that Premier League. They'll pretty much settle them down and stuff like that. It's more, how do you get confidence in the team without now having Samu up there? Now you're going to have Ghoul. And I think they brought in that
and they got
other guy
Mafi.
on loan, Mafi. So it's now like, try to, enforce them into the team. Because Ghoul doesn't play a lot of minutes. So you don't know how long he can go, a full 90 and stuff like that.
He's looked pretty good, though.
Right. He's looked good.
I mean, he's a different kind of striker.
Yes.
I think he may have more technical skill than Samu. He's just not an ever-present guy like Samu was. Samu could really fill up in it. That third of the pitch. He's not that kind of guy. I think he's more of like a finisher striker.
Right.
But we'll see. Again, you got to look at it this way. Right now, as we speak, Porto have I believe, the 5th best attack in the league, and they're losing their top goal scorer.
Yes.
Yeah.
This isn't a team that scores a barrel full of goals here.
No, they've relied on their defensive prowess to not concede.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, it's gonna be very interesting. The dynamic here. Because I mean, again, Ghoul has looked good, but Ghoul has come in the second half when you had tired legs.
Yeah.
It's very different coming in the 70th minute than coming in minute 0.
Yes.
So I'm intrigued by this whole thing. I'm really this is again, you talked to us a month ago, we were pretty much down and out. We weren't really talking about a title race, but I think it's pretty safe to say this is a title race.
Yeah. And like Derek said, they're fifth in goals scored right now.
Yeah.
So Sporting have 55 goals, Benfica and Braga have 44, and Estoril has 43, all ahead of Porto, who have 42. So it is it's getting interesting. So we kind of, I think sometimes as fans we subconsciously kind of make it easy on ourselves, and we say, well, Porto will just coast through the season, and then we don't have to lose any sleep over it, and then if we get pleasantly surprised,
of course,
we may be heading in that direction now.
But I liked what you said before, though. I think we've been too kind with them.
Perhaps.
Look at these games. Look at some of the games they won. They really got lucky. In several games, or games where they won 1-0. They didn't look particularly convincing. That didn't happen just once or twice. This happened several times. And maybe the results are finally catching up to the football.
Yeah, and those clean sheets are the difference right now for them. That's why they have a 4-point lead.
Listen, that Santa Clara game, I still have nightmares. The goalie rolling the ball to Samu's feet.
Yeah,
Come on,
that one. Yeah. And then in the Braga game, didn't Salazar slip for the 2-1? I think it was something weird happened there. the 85th minute penalty against Guimarães. We could just, and we could look at a bunch of others. Dennis School scoring in the end against Moreirense. There were a few games here, man.
Right.
They were very.
And I agree with that point. These 3 games are huge this weekend. Huge.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, these are three tough games because you got to remember Sporting is not playing with Lucho Suarez.
Right.
Yeah.
You got his fifth yellow, so this is going to be
no Lucho and no Jenny.
Yeah, no Lucho, no
because Jenny picked up a knock, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like he'd be out for a couple of weeks from what I read.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, hey, it's time for the 14 million euro man. It's time for Luis Guilherme to, show us what he's about. I think that he's gonna slot in on the right side. He's a left footer, but he likes to play on the right side, sort of like Jenny. So again, we've seen some flashes in the cup game. I thought that was probably his best performance.
Yeah.
And yes, he scored that nice goal. So it looks like he's starting to get into rhythm more. Faye is still behind. But yeah, I mean, we'll see Guilherme there. I mean, at the striker position, I think they're going to have to go with Rafael Mel. That really is their only option. So I'll be curious to see how that works out. I think if I were them, as opposed to making some type of adaptation, putting like a Tugao up there, or I know I read one source they're thinking about putting Solomon Faye up there. I think that you put a guy like Rafael Mel. Again, I know he's he's inferior to Lucho Suarez, but he plays sort of the same way. So if you can keep that consistency, I think that would benefit the team. Even though obviously he's no Lucho Suarez. But he's going to make the same movements. He's a pure striker. So in order to keep consistent, for consistency's sake, I think that would be like the wisest choice. I mean, we'll see how what Rui Borges is going to do. But I mean, I think that'll be the best play for Sporting, is to play with the young guy up front.
Yeah. And Z is talking here again about waiting so long on the substitutions.
Yeah.
We did hit on that.
Should have happened 15 minutes earlier. I really should.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Porto had a week off, and they still subbed before you, and you're in the 80th minute. Come on, man.
Yeah.
You got to do better than that.
Yeah. But this isn't the first time he's done that.
No, it's not.
He has a tendency to do this.
Yeah, it's like Fernando Santos with Portugal, when he would wait till like the 75th minute to do a first sub every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
frustrating.
That's frustrating. Absolutely. Yeah.
Before we put a bow on this game, any final thoughts you guys want to bring forward that we haven't hit on regarding the Clásico? Or did we get everything?
No, like I just want, like Derek had said, I know we always talk with the refs and all. I have nothing against Coutinho. Like we got to give props when they're to be given, and he did a good game. He had a good game this game.
Yeah.
I have nothing to say to him or anything like that. But I don't have anything. I think we covered everything else.
I mean, I think Yulman tried to sell that foul at the beginning of that play.
Yeah.
So I mean, again, this is a Portuguese thing. I think we have a lot of guys in this league that sell fouls. Yeah, and 90% of the time they get called. But this is
you see it in the European games, especially early in the season.
Yep,
where they try to do the same thing and they don't get the call.
That was the second goal in Bilbao.
Yeah,
Matheus Reis tried to sell that foul.
Yes,
and that led to the transition attack and the goal.
Right.
Again, it's just this preoccupation with selling fouls. And this every team is guilty of it. Benfica, Porto, Sporting.
Yeah.
But it's not good for the game. And there's these instances where it backfires, and it certainly backfired that. If Yulman tried to play that ball as opposed to trying to sell a foul, the play may have never happened. So
where is you guys' confidence right now in Sporting with 13 matches to go?
I mean, personally, I feel we can either finish first, second, or third.
Yeah.
This is on a knife's edge. I mean, we're getting Kenda back. Oh yeah, it was shenanigans.
We spent about 10-15 minutes on the shenanigans.
Spent some time on that. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we're gonna get Kenda back. I'm concerned about Yonidis. I didn't think he was going to be out this long. Because I mean, I thought that he was really starting to play well. I don't know what the deal is with the Bost. That's really starting. Yeah. He's essentially not played this year.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. He came back for a couple of games, then poof, he was gone again. So I think with the full squad, and hopefully the two wingers can grow. I'm talking about Fai and Guilherme. We can have a solid rest of the season. There are going to be some big games and some big moments, particularly going to Braga, and of course I do think now, looking at the whole landscape of this league, I think that that Sporting Benfica game could yet again be a decisive game.
It's a pressure cooker now.
Like every year it seems to be the case.
Yeah.
So that could certainly be it. So I mean, there are going to be moments. It's how we're going to respond in these moments. My big concern is this: we haven't beaten anybody yet. We couldn't beat Porto twice. We couldn't beat Benfica. We couldn't beat Braga. We tied to Gil Vicente. We haven't had a single win against a top 5 team. So that's a little bit concerning.
Yeah.
Especially when I think that these big games could be decisive. That would be my one concern with Sporting. But right now it's up for grabs. We can win. Back to back. We can do it. But it's really up in the air, man. We can finish first, second, or third. That's how I feel right now.
Yeah. Z here is saying that he's more confident in Sporting, but he still thinks Porto is likely to win. Not sure if Porto will survive with their struggles to score, and obviously with Sembu out for the season. If I was to put money down, it'd probably still be on Porto, but that confidence in Porto is obviously shrinking, giving the last couple of weeks. Now they could turn around and in the next 3 games smash their opponents, and we'll be back to saying, oh, they figured it out and they're back. But it doesn't. There's no signs of that right now. There's nothing there that's really telling me that they're gonna do it any other way than like this, to continue to grind and power through these matches and grind out 1-0 results and try to take that all the way to the end of the season. There was some interesting I'll switch topics now. There was some interesting results in the league this week. So Estrela Amadora 1-0 winners over Santa Clara in that 6-pointer.
Yep.
That's a big win for Estrela. Santa Clara is getting very close to that drop zone now. And then you have Gil Vicente. We said that they were trending in the wrong direction. They turned it around. They went to Moreirense and won 2-1 this weekend.
I think Moreirense that's trending in the wrong direction.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say now. Estoril 2-2 draw. Derek, I think, mentioned it early at the start of the show. Tondela takes another point. They go to Estoril and get a point.
I watched like the end of that game. And Tondela did an effective job of having Estoril play their game. They fell right into Tondela's trap. So I mean, hey, all credit to them. I mean, they made some investments. They brought in that good French winger. I think his name's Aiku. Brought in a new striker. So I know we talked about how it almost looked like Rio Ave sabotaged their season and Santa Clara and what have you. But I do think this team's trying to stay up. At least they're making an effort. Same thing with when Aroca seems like a different team now.
Which I'm going to go to them. 3-2 winners over Guimarães.
They invested heavily, and we talked about this too with Guimarães. How we felt that that winning that League Cup will galvanize them.
Really it didn't. No, it almost seems like mission accomplished. Let's go into cruise control for the rest of the season.
No, I think that 9 points behind Gil Vicente.
They've dropped points.
I don't see it happening, man.
That Aroca one was impressive. 3 unanswered goals.
Yeah.
Vitoria Guimarães take the lead with Saviolo and Camara scoring 26th and 30th minute, and then Aroca comes roaring back. They get 1 at the end of the first half from Treza, and then Barbero and Lee add second half goals to do the complete Reviravolta.
Yeah, I think those two were winter transfers too.
Yeah,
I know Barbero was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Aroca's playing well, and I mean, they played Sporting tough a few weeks ago. Benfica's going there in a couple weeks. They're turning it around, and they've been good in the past. We've talked about Aroca before. They've been good in the past, and then we see players, move on from their team. But it looks like they came in and they reloaded in this window, and they're going to fight to stay up. But now here we are. A few weeks ago, they were in the drop zone, and now they're 6 points clear after a couple of wins, and that's all it takes down there sometimes. Yeah. So it's going to be a fight to the end, I think, to see who stays up. This is I'd be very worried for Santa Clara if they don't. Juav and obviously AVS, I think, is already got a foot and a half in the second division if they even register a team in the second division. Like I said, it wouldn't shock me if next summer we find out they don't meet the minimum criteria for something.
And they go back and they go down to the
they go back. Yeah, exactly. So we'll see what happens there. But I think Aroca's, they're getting some headlines, they're getting some attention. As he says here, second half of the season will be harder for all three big teams. Yeah, and some of these teams seem more improved. The other thing I think we see often in this league last couple of seasons is one team gets out in front in the first half of the season, seemingly every year, and has a brilliant first half of the season. And then when they go to play a team a second time, the team is adjusted.
Yeah.
And it's not even the top team. It's teams in the bottom. We've seen Casa Pia beat Porto. We've seen Tondela take points off Benfica. These teams adjust. These managers adjust. And to be honest, the way that they like to play, it's not that hard to prepare for these games and to just bunker in, take away passing lanes, and force the bigger teams to create something out of the ordinary to beat them.
Yeah.
And this year it happens to be Porto. Sporting, remember, had a big lead last year, and then it reduced and then opened up again. Yeah. The year before, if I remember correctly, Sporting kind of cruised all season. But in Benfica's last title, it was the same thing. The first half of the season,
Roger Schmidt
control, Roger Ball, and we thought we had,
they looked invincible. Yeah,
looked on the verge of a dynasty, and then by round 25, it was a struggle to continue to pick up 3 points in these matches, and we're going to Chaves and dropping points in stoppage time. If I remember correctly, losing to Chaves that season. So we've seen this before. So it wouldn't be unprecedented if Porto come back to the peloton, so to speak, to use a cycling term, and suddenly we have a race, a really close race in the final, 8-7 weeks of the season. And that's only better for everybody if there's a race till the end. It'll give us more to talk about too. So because this is going to get really.
I don't think. I mean, you guys remember when Mourinho was there that first year with Mourinho? You remember the Villas-Boas year where they went undefeated. Those were examples where the league, it was over before it even started. Like, you were not going to catch those teams. That was the team of destiny. They were just too strong. This is not one of those years, man.
No. It looked like it might be, but it's not going. It doesn't look it anymore.
But like, you look at those teams, the Mourinho teams, those guys were killing. They were destroying teams. It was convincing football. You felt like you didn't have a chance.
They had a 10-point lead in March, and it was like
you felt like they were gonna But like this team all season long. Well, I think the first month or so, I think Porto looked very dominant. Those first 5-6 weeks, but these last 3 months, it's just been a slog. Like, every game has been a slog. They're not looking like this, unstoppable force.
Yeah.
So that's why I do feel this is a race.
Yeah. And he says here, Z does, that can Porto handle the pressure? He asks us, and we don't know. I honestly don't know if they can. They are not right now convincing me that they can. I felt a lot more confident in them several weeks ago, but I think he's right when he says Sporting might have the advantage. Not just I think Sporting has the complete squad right now, even with injuries. I think they're well built at each of the positions. And I think that the fact that they're champions back to back and they're defending something is also extra. They have the experience of last year, having the lead, having it whittle down. I think they even passed Sporting for a week.
They did.
Yeah, passed them for a week, and then they recovered it. So they know they've been here plenty of times. They're battle tested. Sporting is. They do have a strong mentality, just like you said. And right now they have the most informed goal scorer in the league. So they're going to put together, no matter what happens, Sporting, I think, are going to put together a strong challenge down the stretch here. Yeah. Whether or not this is a 2 or a 3 team race remains to be seen. The next couple of weeks will probably iron that out for us. But I think Porto are going to have to, they're going to have to handle this adversity and see if they're even capable of it. I mean, I go back to Farioli once again. As much as I've liked what he's done for the majority of the season, that armor's starting to crack, and we're starting to see how he let that Dutch league slip away last year. And if
watching these last 2 Porto games, I feel like teams are starting to do something a certain way, because Sporting did it too.
Yeah,
it's like they're letting them play out of the back, but they're sticking to Varela, not letting them play the ball to him to connect to the guys up top. It's almost like, we're going to give you your space. Let's see what Bednarik and Kiwar can do with the ball, but we're not going to let you get it to Varela. And I feel like Gazabia did the same thing with them. Like, we're not going to let you connect with these 2 midfielders. We want you to play the ball long or play it to the wing and try to build that way. And I felt like Sporting a little bit. Suarez was just the only guy pressuring them back and forth.
Yeah, they stayed medium block the entire match.
Yeah, and Boston would come back on top of Varela a little bit. And it's like, you guys aren't going to connect right here. We want you guys to connect a different way. And I feel like you said, Mike, people start to pick up in the second half. Like, what new things can we do to switch this up? And I feel like Porto now, I want to see what Farioli does to fix it, because he didn't do it in the second half of this game. You didn't do it in the Gazabia game, and teams are starting to catch on. And it's like, what do you do now to counteract that?
Yeah, I think at the beginning of the year, like their signature was their fast starts.
Yeah, yeah.
Those first 20 minutes were hell. They played with so much intensity, and they were winning the ball. They're winning the ball quickly, and they're winning the ball high up the pitch.
Yeah,
I haven't really seen that lately. There's been a drop. There's a noticeable drop in intensity. So now they got to forge a new identity, because I really haven't seen that. That suffocating Porto press that's winning balls. Like we did at the beginning of the year. Is it guys just getting tired? He rolls out the same team every week.
Yeah.
Could it be?
Yeah, I think there's some of that. I do think there's some fatigue setting in. And I heard a stat earlier today, something about they're running. Porto players are running on average more than Benfica and Sporting players are when they look at the analytics.
Okay.
And that looks great in the match. And when things are going good, we're working hard and we're producing chances and we're winning the ball high. But when you get into February, March, April, that starts to add up. And again, if there isn't a solid squad rotation, injuries start to show up, fatigue starts to show up, or just form drops. Sometimes it's not even an injury. It's not even a loss of fitness per se, but form just drops, because sometimes, like for years, Benfica had this thing with Pizzi where he played way above the level of player he really was for 2 or 3 months. And you would ride the wave, but eventually he comes back to the player that he is. And there's a level that everybody kind of lives at. And I think maybe Porto were playing above their ability for a while, impressing us. And like we said, we were very kind to them all season, very impressed with them. And slowly, the results were there, but the performances were less and less convincing. And now they're struggling to get the results, at least for these past 2 weeks. But it's not just these past 2 weeks. They got a draw in Poland. They let the the League Cup slip away. You can say they didn't want it, but they still were beaten at home by Vitoria Guimarães. So that's still Porto should be able to play a rotated squad and still get through in a match like that. So at home at least. It's going to be interesting to see what happens here this weekend. I think this game with Nacional has a lot of curiosity to it. To see what kind of response they have. Was he saying Suarez hasn't had any rest? Ioannidis is injured. Now he gets a break because he's suspended. It will be a tough game. Famalicão play everybody tough. I don't think anyone will be surprised to see Famalicão give Sporting a real test. But again, they're the champions. They've been through this before. You guys had matches last year where Gyökeres wasn't available, or there was that stretch where he wasn't really himself, and somebody else always stepped up and found a way to get the job done, to get enough done to meet the objective and to take the 3 points. So it'll be interesting to see. And this race could really, I mean, if we're still in this spot 3-4 weeks from now where everybody's in somewhat striking distance of each other, I think we can have a really fun last quarter of the season. And it's good for us too, because we'll have something to talk about. Because if we were gonna imagine Porto got 6 points in these last two matches and we're crowning them champions,
totally different conversation.
We'd be having a different conversation. It wouldn't be very interesting after a while. It'd be the same thing week after week. So I think we're gonna have some. I'm gonna hit on Benfica because we're almost at the hour mark. But Benfica get a win 2-1 at home against Alverca. Anisio Cabral. I'll talk about this a little bit. He came on again and again with his first touch, puts a header in. I'm nervous, about this because I can already see this turning into Zé Gomes from years ago, where he scored a couple goals, and Fabrizio Romano is going to start tweeting. That's going to go to his head, and 6 weeks from now he could be on the U23s for all we know. Who knows? He does need he can at 17 years old. He cannot just make a living coming off the bench in the 80th minute. So he is going to need to go back to the B and get minutes at some point. Because he's not going to start here. He's going to need to go get minutes at some point. Mourinho's going to have to manage that. Also, I like the progression of Sheldrop and Prestiani. That's something I'm enjoying. And it's something I've believed in. And finally, they're getting the consistent starts. They're getting the consistent minutes, and they're proving their value. Sheldrop seems to have snapped out of his funk a little bit that he was in. And Prestiani's creating things. There's no final piece yet, but that's for the whole team. Benfica as a whole are just not. They're missing that final piece. And Mourinho in the flash interview after the match, it was kind of funny because he says, "I'm happy we won. I'm happy we got the 3 points. I'm happy the kid came off the bench and scored a goal. But I'm again going to be sleepless all week because." We played well, we created well, and we scored little, basically, to paraphrase.
I mean, I thought Rafa was good, too.
Yeah, I thought so, too.
Rafa was good, too.
I've always been kind of on Team Rafa, so when he came back, I wasn't one of the people that was upset because he wanted more money a season and a half ago, and now he came back. I mean, everything is circumstantial, so he's needed right now. And it relieves some pressure from Sudakov, who I think was starting to run into some fatigue issues. Now they can both play in that number 10 role. They can both kind of move out wide. Bruma got on the pitch this weekend. It's been a long layoff for him, so that's a little bit of added depth. Lukabaku back in the next month and a half or so. So things look like they could be turning up. I still am more focused on the macro, on the long-term picture, and on building something that can next year really attack the league and go for the title from the beginning. As far as Benfica going for the title, it's out of Benfica's hands. And I think wasting energy worrying about what Sporting and Porto are doing is probably counterproductive right now. When you're having trouble scoring goals, I think Benfica need to focus on getting goals and taking each match one at a time and just trying to get the maximum points in each match. Tough trip this week to the Azores to play Santa Clara on a Friday. It's never easy to play on a weeknight.
No.
And especially with a quick turnaround with Real Madrid again on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And with the ease that these lesser experienced players can kind of start looking ahead and trip up in this league match because they're thinking about Real Madrid. So it will be interesting to see. That's why Mourinho makes the money he does. He has to keep the team focused. Overall, though, this Benfica the last 5-6 weeks is not the same Benfica we saw in the first 4 months of the season. So I am seeing progress. It's slow, and it's missing the final piece. So it's kind of being exaggerated how poorly things are going because it's a struggle to beat Alverca suddenly. But it's been a struggle to get goals for a long time now. If it's not from the penalty spot or Pavlidis, on a night where he's on, when he's not on, it's really a struggle for it to come from anywhere else. So he says, what are the chances Benfica sell Anisio? I think 0. They're going to re-sign him. He's going to renew on his birthday, which is in the next couple of weeks. And they're going to raise that clause. And I don't think he's going to go anywhere this soon. We don't even know how much we're going to see of him the rest of the season. There's still a 20 million euro striker on the bench that there's going to be pressure.
I thought that was very telling. I thought that was I mean,
it is super telling.
It was 1-1, and it was a 22 million euro striker, and you went with a 17-year-old.
Yeah, a 17-year-old who has basically skipped. He's basically skipped the U23s in the B team. He's come from the juniors into the first team because he had a good U17 World Cup. So, it's
if I'm Ivanovic or if I'm his agent.
You're not happy, obviously.
Mikey, that's what, the second game in a row or third game he didn't even play?
It's probably the third. He might have come on in Tondela. I'm not sure. I didn't get to see much of that one, but he might have come on in that one. But
I don't think
there's no way he's happy right now, Ivanovic.
No, it can't be that.
When he does come in, he's played out on the left as a winger almost.
Yeah.
But he also has been given opportunities and has not really showed to be the value of 20 million or even 15 million right now. So there is, there's a level of patience with a player that comes from a league like the Belgian league to our league, which I thought would be more comparable, especially, given he came from Saint Gilloise, who is one of the top teams in the Belgian league. He scored boatloads of goals there. I'm going to assume the Belgian league is a more open game and teams don't bunker in the same way our league does.
I think it's sort of like the Dutch league.
It's probably sort of like the Dutch league.
Where it's easy to score goals.
It seems like it. It seems like the top striker in that league always seems to score more goals than our top striker, except for when you get a Gorkarez that has an exceptional 2-season run. But on most seasons, I think their top goal scorers outscore ours because I think the Portuguese league has more of a defensive mentality for 2/3 of the team.
It does, It's
and they make it difficult.
The Mediterranean,
And if you're not used to it, if you're coming from an open style of play, it's a culture shock. So I think he's experiencing some of that. We saw that with Darwin Nunez. We saw that with Pavlidis when he arrived last season. It took him 6 months to start scoring goals. The difference was with Pavlidis, when he wasn't scoring goals, he found other things to do. He got assists. He won balls. He held up the ball, allowing teammates to get into the attack. He helped with the press. He found a way to keep himself on the pitch, which Ivanovic has not been able to do that so far.
Right.
No.
But it is very telling that they went with the 17-year-old. I think this one had more to do with maybe him being the hot player right now, having had the goal a couple of weeks ago, and then he didn't score in Tondela, but he came on again. He trusted him. This is 3 games in a row that the kid comes on. But Benfica fans and Anisio Cabral himself need to stay grounded because this can easily go. This can easily go the wrong way.
Yeah.
It's very, very early. We have a very small sample size to work with. And to start, it happened too with Banjaku, the right back, when he played almost 90 minutes a game. And here we go. Manchester United is interested. This saga. And now there's the other saga that this week, it's like the bots are just putting out that Jose Mourinho's taken over the national team after the World Cup. It's like a done deal. And people are like, what a great announcement. There was no announcement. Somebody decided to tweet. Yes.
That's all it is. Yeah. It's noise.
Someone made themselves their own source and put it out there. And then everybody else, shared it. This is how these things start. But it's 3 points, which is huge, especially late in the game. Benfica needed this kind of a win, I think, to take one late again, just like they did it against Real Madrid. But the Champions League form doesn't tend to translate over to the league. I've seen it so many times where they look great in the Champions League, and then on the weekend they drop points to Tondela. It's actually fairly common with this team. So this was good to get these 3 points against an Alverca team that I think has been pretty good this season and been a pleasant surprise.
They look more dangerous now with Chiquinho.
I was going to say,
he really impressed.
I was going to talk about Chiquinho for a second, and
I understand why he's been at bigger clubs. Overhand, I understand. There's something there.
There's something there, and I think he has the big club player in there somewhere.
Yeah. But if he can surpass his injuries.
And I start to imagine him on a Vitoria or a Braga and how good he would be at that level, and then really maybe cement himself as a big team player there. But
that first half, he was danger. He was danger on the left side.
And I think Benfica got a little bit lucky.
All the attacks were from there.
Yeah, he had to be subbed off. So
yeah.
It certainly didn't hurt Benfica that Chiquinho had to be subbed off. All right, we've got a few more comments. He goes here from Z. He says Portuguese lower level teams, they are mostly anti-football. It's true. It's what they can build with the resources they have to some extent. Also, some of it is mentality. Some of it is they hire the coaches that want to play this way, because if you're outside of the top 8, your main goal is to not get relegated. You have 10 teams playing to not be relegated versus to try to get in to the Europa League or the Conference League spots.
Yeah,
we see teams in our league actually say we won't go to the Europa Conference if we qualify. Chaves did it a few years ago when they were, flirting with seventh.
I think Ian Cathro gave in an interview, he said the same thing. He said,
"Did he?
We're not ready for that, and it would be pointless to go there and play a couple of games and get eliminated."
The format it doesn't help them because it's expensive. You got to travel in the summer. And then you play 2 games and you're possibly out there and you've invested.
And you don't have the bench for it.
You don't have the bench. And the problem is the turnover in these clubs is also at the end of the season, half the team leaves and you have a new team. And now you're suddenly playing a knockout match right at the start and they're not ready for it. And I think they're a little bit self-aware of that. So these teams need to hang on to players. They have to find a way to keep a nucleus at least from one season to the other, which Famalicão, like we've said, if they can qualify, I think they could actually make a good run because they've proven to be able to carry this from one season to another, though they haven't qualified yet. They've been right on the cusp of making Europe, but they always seem to slip up right at the end. But let's see what he says here. He says that Benfica, the comparison to Eusebio comes from some obvious reasons, but also that he scored on Eusebio's birthday, and basically every kid that scores from the youth team, that was the same thing with Zé Gomes years ago. And I don't even know where Zé Gomes plays today, if he even still plays, to be honest.
I mean, I think nurturing a young player is always the best policy.
Yeah,
it takes years.
It takes years, exactly.
I can how many examples we could talk about Mauricio with Sporting.
Oh my God!
I mean, and sometimes a loan spell at another Premier League, it does wonders for these guys. I mean, I remember Adrian Silva was on the cusp of not being part of the team. He goes on loan to Academica. And that turned his career around.
Yeah.
Same thing you can say to Cedric Suarez, who went with him.
João
Mario, we loaned him out to Vitoria de Setúbal, and that's where we really got to see what he was made of.
Yeah.
There's so many examples. I mean, look at what happened to Matheus Fernandes. I mean, we loaned him out to Estoril, and now he's a Premier League player. It's just nurturing these guys.
Look at his Subu. Went
He
last
was
year
another one.
to Las Bambas. Now, and look, boom, went right to Chelsea.
Yeah.
You know, it's
as opposed to just like rushing these guys in and trying to make them the man prematurely. It can be detrimental. So I think nurturing and I think loan spells really do help, man. I've seen so many loan spells that have
When it's to the right place.
I think
the right place. That's why it's like I don't like what they did with Ribeiro.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the fact that they loaned him out to a Bundesliga team.
No,
I don't think that made any sense. No.
And he rides the bench, and we
exactly.
we could use him this week.
I mean, ideally, he should be another Premier League team.
Right.
I don't care what it is. I mean, there are teams out there that need guys that can score goals. I mean, it's just a great experience for him. Now he's just going to go there, and just like he did a couple years back when he got loaned out to Nottingham Forest, he's not going to see the field and be an unproductive loan.
Yeah, and I've seen. I don't know how many.
One.
Yeah, and I was going to say that.
I think we gave up on him too early.
Yeah.
We gave up on that guy because he showed me something. There was quality there. You could have loaned him out. You could have kept him as part of the organization.
Yeah. I was going to say I don't know how many seasons now Benfica have loaned out Henrique Araújo to Liga teams who play in low blocks. He's a striker who needs to go somewhere where he's going to be asked to score goals, not to hold a line and be the first, be the deep lying striker who's cutting off the first passing lane at midfield. So loans are good when they're to the right club. With the right
of course, it's got to be the right. Yeah.
And I mean, B teams I still think are underutilized too. They can play in the Portuguese second division. Is it better to keep your players in your B team in the Portuguese second division, or sometimes these players are loaned out to who knows where? They go to Poland. They used to go to Russia. They go to Greece, go wherever, and you don't know what they're being asked to do on their new team. You don't know what type of opponents they're playing against. You don't know how they're being treated. You don't know how they train, because that's also an important part of a loan deal. So these players are so hard to manage, and a lot of kids show promise at one point or another, and then they fizzle out. And it's so hard to get to the first team, but it's even harder to stay there. And we see it.
I mean, it brings me back to Peppa. It brings me back to Louis Bayonne. Those young guys. Oh, these guys are going to be great. And then it just
we've seen him. The only one on our team that those two loan spells he had were horrendous, but if somehow he found his niche when he came back to
amazing.
us.
Amazing. Sorry. Same thing with Jenny. Jenny went to Marito, didn't play.
No. Yeah.
And look at him now.
Right.
Yeah. So
that was like Florentino went on 2 loans and hardly played, and then came back and Roger Schmidt made him a starter.
Yeah.
And then you ended up being sold for whatever many million to the Premier League. So to Burnley. So
and he's playing every game over there.
Yeah. And I always thought people overemphasized his weaknesses and don't value his strengths. Sometimes a destroyer in the middle of the park is a good thing.
Yeah.
And sure, all his passes to be completed have to be sideways, but sometimes you don't need that number 6 to be the first pass in an attack every time. I know in the Portuguese league it's a little different because you're playing against the low blocks, so everybody needs to be able to make that forward vertical pass. But clearly in the Premier League, they're not saying, oh, he only passes sideways. He's playing match in, match out. He's saying, especially with strikers, big 3 clubs produce everything except top strikers.
Listen, I hope he's right, because I'm dying for a striker on the national team so hard, because it's the one position we can't produce. I hope he's right with that comment.
But Ronaldo's going to announce that he's going to play at the 2030 World Cup in Saudi. He's gonna go.
It's an Iberian thing. I think Spain has the same problem.
Yeah, it's the one position we can't produce.
It's world class everywhere except for the guy that has to put the ball in the net. It's world class everywhere else. It's they play beautiful football. It's beautiful to watch Spain play football, but they don't have anybody that can just
nobody that scares you.
Yeah,
No.
stick it in.
You know,
like Alvaro Morata. Never
Yeah.
scared.
you feel like they're good, but you feel like anybody feels like you can contain Spain on their day.
Yeah.
They don't have that guy that scares you. That I don't know.
No.
It used to be Thomas Muller when he played for Germany. He was this lights out
Yeah.
finisher.
Yeah.
You know, compared to his club form, it was know,
Yeah.
or Lewandowski. You know, someone like that can just bury goals. But
They can score.
he does rate Gonçalo Ramos. I think everybody rates Gonçalo Ramos now at this point. He keeps scoring goals with limited time.
Yeah.
But he's not going to start over Ronaldo. So
No.
Eh.
Yeah.
So it is what it is here. There's records to be conquered, I guess. But let's see. He's got another point here. Let's see what he said here. Semu actually, Semu. We talked about.
Yeah, he could have been something different. And I think
he was definitely in their in their player pool. Do we have any other points, guys? We're going a little long. Anything else on this week before we do predictions?
No.
No. Braga did get a win. I didn't mention them. Braga 3-0 win over Rio Ave. Rio Ave are a dumpster fire right now.
Rio Ave just
man,
tough to watch.
They are.
I'm starting to fear that Marinakis is going to kill them, literally.
That's what I was trying to say last week.
You were, and it's really starting to look like they're heading down the way of Boavista in a Vitoria Setúbal, and it's. I mean, he was supposed to build a stand, wasn't he? It was. Yeah. He was supposed to bring in money to invest, and now he's underselling players from one of his teams to his other team, and Rio
Ave is a pawn.
They're a pawn. That's it.
Yeah,
that's it. They're just a pawn in a larger scheme.
Right.
All right. Let's look at next week's matches, and we'll make some predictions here. This coming week, it starts early. Starts on Friday.
Yep.
Santa Clara Benfica is the first game. 1:00 Eastern time, 10:30 a.m. Pacific. That's an early kickoff on a Friday.
I guess they're trying to beat the fun. Yeah,
it's because Benfica have a game on Tuesday, so I guess they get and they have to fly. They probably have to fly back on Friday. Yeah, that's probably the reason. This has the makings of a trap game in it. Every time I say us, this team, is getting close to the relegation, then they go and pull points somewhere. So I said that about Santa Clara already, that they're getting close to the relegation spots.
Yeah, they seem to play well in these big games.
They seem to play well in these big games.
That's when it's their strengths. I think.
Yeah,
strength is
exactly.
Some of these big games they defend well, hang on to things. So I think that's why they do particularly well in these kinds of matches.
Yeah,
not so much in the others when they're playing peers, so to speak.
Yeah, and when they have the responsibility to go out and to go on the front foot and try to score.
Yeah,
right.
I'm much more comfortable sitting in and waiting for the counter opportunities.
Yeah.
I see a 2-1 Benfica game here. A tough 2-1.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was thinking 2-1 as well.
I was thinking 2-0.
Okay.
Yeah. I think they'll pull through.
All right, and then the nightcap is Tondela hosting Alverca.
Okay.
Not bad.
Could be interesting. Alverca with back-to-back away games here.
Yeah.
They went to Benfica last week. Now they're going to Tondela. Tondela on a little bit of a roll.
I'm gonna go 2-2.
Yeah.
You can go 2-2.
I was thinking 1-1, so I think we all have a draw.
Yeah. I was thinking 0-0.
Yeah, that's always a possibility.
Nino's favorite.
Nino's favorite.
Bocce ball. There you
go. Yeah. Shout out, Nino, wherever you are.
Yeah.
Casapia hosting Aroca.
Oh, that's a good one, too.
That is a good one. That's an early one Saturday.
On a roll.
Yeah.
I'll go 1-1.
Yep. Ditto. 1-1.
I'll say 2-2 because both teams have found the back of the net recently. Maybe they can each get 2 goals here. 2-2, but I think they draw. They're both kind of mirroring each other right now.
Yeah.
and they're both still in that part of the table where they can't afford to lose to each other. So I could see a situation where towards the end of the game, no risks are taken, and they kind of both go contently with their point. Vitoria Guimarães hosting Estrela Amadora.
This is an interesting one. I feel like Guimarães. Yeah, I feel like Guimarães has to go get this one at home. They have to show something. So. I'll go 2-1 Guimarães.
I will go 2-1 Guimarães as well. I think it's not going to be easy.
It's not going to be easy. Yeah.
No, they haven't really. It's. I thought after that League Cup, I thought there was going to be some momentum.
Right.
Same.
This isn't, and I think Saviolo is one of the really good young this league.
I agree.
But there's I don't know, for some reason it's not really clicking.
Yeah, I'll go 3-2 here. I hope for some more goals, but I think Guimarães get it done at home, and they got to find points if they want to try to chase for 5th place. So if they don't get points here, I mean, they can start planning for next season, I guess, at this point.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. All right, a big one in Minho. Gil Vicente hosting Braga.
Oh,
the night game Saturday.
Yikes!
I think Braga's actually starting to play their best ball now.
I agree.
And I think I'm going to take Braga this one 2-1. It's going to be a hard one, but I'll go 2-1 Braga. I feel like they're playing their best ball now.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. I'm also going to go 2-1 Braga. I think it's they really are starting to look good, and I think if they win this game, the 4th place will be out of the question for Gil.
Yeah, and
that'll be
exactly
sort of like their last.
And then Braga can focus on the Europa League.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'll say 3-1 Braga. I think they'll get a late one to make it look a little less close than it actually will be.
A lot of good games this week. Well,
yeah, there's some good games.
Yep.
And then Sunday, Nacional hosting Porto. We talked about this one earlier. They got all day for the fog to clear if it does come through because it's an early game.
Yep.
Probably for the same reason Porto have to fly back so that they can prepare for you. No, they don't have Europe. They have a bye. So
yeah.
Either way, I think Porto find a way to go. I'm not going to ruin, not to be superstitious, but I'm not going to ruin a good thing. I'm going to keep picking them. It's worked out great the last 2 weeks. So.
I already know what Derek's going to pick. He's for the last few weeks.
I know Derek's pick too. I'll say.
I think it's really going to happen too. I think it's going to be one.
I'll go with 2 to just be different.
2-0. I was thinking 2-0.
Yeah.
All right. AVS hosting Estoril.
Oh.
I'll go 3-1 Estoril.
I think AVS will make a little game. I think Estoril will win 2-1.
I'm thinking 2-1 as well.
Yeah.
And then the last one is Sporting Famalicão. This is a good one.
Oof.
I'll let Derek go last like usual.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be tough, this game, especially without Suarez and Jenny. It'll be interesting. The whole focus is going to be who's going to be playing that up top.
Yeah.
I honestly see it just going 1-0 and yet just being a real tight game. Sporting 1-0.
I was somewhat right last week. I said Sporting were going to the only thing I said wrong was that they were going to win it in stoppage time. They tied it in stoppage time.
Yeah.
This one, they're going to win in stoppage time, 2-1. There's going to be a 93rd-minute goal for Sporting.
I think it's going to be 2-1 in stoppage time.
Yeah. That's where this one's going.
I know. This is like old school Porto scoring in the 93rd minute.
Not in the 90th plus 21 like a few seasons ago. But that game. I think that was against Estoril, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
When Nino was saying, no, it's not a penalty. You cannot call that a penalty. I remember that one. All right, guys, that's all we got, I guess. That's round 21. We'll be back, hopefully back on Tuesday next week.
Tuesday,
what happened? Don't we have one more game? The Rio Ave one?
Is that Monday? I got to change the page. Okay, good call. Yep, we got Rio Ave Moreirense.
They have not scored a goal in 4 consecutive games, Rio Ave.
Yeah.
I don't see them scoring at all again. I'm going to go 2-0 Moreirense.
Ditto. 2-0 Moreirense, I think. Moreirense gets back to their winning ways.
I was going to say, nothing cure. Right now, I don't think there's much better remedy for a slump than Rio Ave on the schedule. So even away, I see a 2-0 as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so sad, but
yeah. All right, guys. So now that we got all the matches in, that's going to do it for this week.
Awesome.
We'll shoot to be back next Tuesday, and I'm sure we'll have a lot to talk about because there's a lot of matches that could have real good implications on the table this weekend. So enjoy the football, everybody. Thank you guys for joining me again, and we'll see everybody next week. See ya.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
See you guys.
See ya.